Welcome to the double feature. Guys, the last 8 minutes, my camera battery, I forgot to charge. I had multiple batteries, and I forgot to charge it as I was talking, and it flashes, so I turned my camera off so I could switch my battery. The minute I put my battery in, the new one, everything went red. Freaking red. I don't know what the hell happened. And I spent the last 8 minutes trying to set it back to wherever it was before it started turning red. And now when I was freaking out, I accidentally deleted some of my custom button. And now I got a lot of work to do. Look, here is the double feature. I hope you enjoy this. No camera angles, but no images. And no changes in camera. None of this like in the WWE with Vince. It ain't going to be that way. It is straightforward. Hopefully you like it. And I'm gonna botch. Deal with it. Okay, were both shows good? SmackDown was okay, but it was long-winded. And it felt like they were trying to do a lot of shock. Now, I'm not saying that's bad, but that's how it felt to me. When it came to Rampage, it's a good setup for Grand Slam for next week. Not bad, but you wonder how far they're going to go, and certain people that was on the show felt like, really? I don't know why they're there. Let's start with SmackDown. The Logan Paul segment with the Bloodline. I gotta say this. When it came to Paulie coming back, it was good to see. Everyone's glad to see him. But when he got into the ring with Logan Paul, it felt awkward. Look, Paulie can talk to anybody. He don't get rattled. He don't get shaken. He knows how to talk to absolutely anybody in that damn ring. But when it came to Logan, it felt like they didn't have the right chemistry. For me personally, something felt off. And that now Logan is trying to set up a press conference and is setting a press conference in Las Vegas. And I believe it comes out at 3 tomorrow in New York. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. I might. But that was the setup for that. That could lead to a match at pretty much maybe Survivor Series, or probably is going to go to Extreme Rules. Give something for the head of the table to do. But it felt awkward. I don't know what it was. The banter between them, it didn't work for me personally. It felt off. Something was not right. Maybe everyone else was fine, but to me, no. When it came to Sami covering for the Bloodline and the match between him and Ricochet afterward when he got his jaw jacked, was fine. But now seeing that there's dissension really badly between Jay and Sami, because Jay decided to interject himself a lot more than he should by getting pissed off at not more than Sami, but at Ricochet, that he couldn't nail him the way he wanted. Sami and Jay started butting heads with each other. They started getting pissed at each other. Sami's getting angry and saying, "What did you do? I had him." And he said, "Do your business." And then they just started butting heads. So Sami lost because of another interjection because of Jay. And that kind of leads to the last match of the night. I'm kind of jumping around. When you see the North American Championship being defended, which was good, but as I said in my last SmackDown review, or is it NXT? I think NXT review, that when it came to Solo Sequoia, oh yeah, it was the NXT 1 year anniversary. I said it myself. The way they're going to set him up, he's going to be part of the Bloodline, and you're going to see him be protected. He's going to have people running in to try and protect him, just like Jay, just like Jimmy, and just like the Bloodline head himself. And then when he goes to NXT, he'll act like a badass. I do not agree with that booking. I don't agree with it. I really do believe he should be a badass in both sections of SmackDown and NXT, but they're not doing that, at least not yet, if they are. I just don't agree with it. He could stay a badass and rarely ever be covered. But when you see this match, when he, and this is Jimmy and Jay by his side saying they're hyping him up a Solo, he told Jay, "Dude, you messing up. Come on, Sami, let's handle this business." He goes with Sami. He don't want Jay out there. And Jay did not take that well. He didn't attack anybody, but he did not get comfortable about it. And it was Sami who saved his ass. The MVP of the Bloodline. I'm going to call this the MVP episode. You know why? Because when it comes to Sami literally is making himself so relevant by just being pretty much a background player, making sure everything runs well. Literally, people are cheering their asses off him. In California, they were cheering their asses off, not for Solo, not for Madcap Moss, not for more Ricochet. It was Sami they were cheering for. Yes, they also booed him, but he is over no matter which way he's leaning. That means something. That is an MVP. That's Sami. Now, when it came to the Rachel, no. Well, look, when it came to, I don't know how to explain this when it came to Bayley and Rachel. I'm glad to see she was serious because she was angry that Aaliyah was taken out. I'm glad to see it. It needed to happen. She had to stop smiling, particularly that her tag team partner, who they just lost the titles to Damage Control, pretty much should be angry that they annihilated a partner that she really liked, that she cared for. Maybe in love, you never know, as they're trying to put it. I'm glad to see it. So the thing that gets me is Bayley. We know Bayley has not been in the ring a lot. Yes, she's been practicing, but to do really good ring work, you got to be in there every week working, every week. And as a manager, she has not had much time to do that. She's been taking care of Io and she's been taking care of Dakota, so she has not been in the ring enough. Yes, you can do some training in the back, before the show starts, but once you got those lights on with the crowds there, things are different. And when you saw the match, she still seems a bit tanked and she still seems a little sloppy. Yes, she's done a decent job to cover for that, but it's only so far you can go. Yes, the Damage Control saved her ass. They did. Of course they did. They saved her. No problem. But honestly, she needs to be in the ring every week to get back in shape. That's what she needs. I don't know about anybody else. Maybe they won't say it. Maybe don't care. But that's just me. Now, seeing the Maximum Male Models. The Maximum Male Models introducing this school, the fall school line, coming out wearing shorts, coming out trying to look young, trying to look dashing, and trying not to get killed by Braun Strowman. Again, Braun Strowman destroys somebody. He does. He destroyed both Maximum Male Models, and we did get that little, again, tease of a Eli Drake. I know he's not called that, but I love calling him Eli Drake. That's my boy, Eli. Before anybody, listen. Before anybody really was big into Eli, I was one of those people. There was very few who was reviewing Impact Wrestling, and I'm one of those people who said clearly that Eli Drake was money. And when he went to NXT, and when JD and Jess Alexander, they said, I don't see anything there. And I was still the one who was praising him, saying, you're going to watch this boy get over. And guess what? He got over because he's that damn good, and I'm right. So you never know, he's going to go back to LA Knight. But in this situation where he fought against Otis, you saw Chad Gable come out. You wonder how far they're going to go with this. With Chad, with Otis, with Braun Strowman. And will this really help the Alpha Academy? And will this help Braun Strowman? He's only just come back. So I don't know how far this is going to work and how far Braun Strowman is going to get over as it is. I'm just saying. Now, we also get a moment between the challenger and champ, the Ronda and the Liv Morgan. And was it a good segment? Seeing Ronda talking with Liv, because she knew she was going to come out. And that was in their interview. That was Ronda's interview. Then Liv came out telling, get out of the way, I want to talk to her. And she wanted Ronda to respect her, and she wasn't. So she said, I've beaten you twice. I'm going to beat you again. I'm going to have to do that work to get the respect I deserve. And she said, you know how I'm going to really get respect, particularly from you? An Extreme Rules match. That's what I want at Extreme Rules. Okay. She's going for an Extreme Rules match. Question's going to be, can they both handle an Extreme Rules match? The last time the women went through a very intense match, several of them got hurt. Ronda broke her hand in a very rough match, so let's just hope no one gets too badly injured. Not saying women can't handle it, and I'm not saying the women on the roster can, but now with the change in the feel of the company by Triple H, the change of the women is apparent. The women are different. So they may be trying to be a lot more violent and a lot more rough with each other, and they could go overboard without realizing it. They want to look good. I'm just saying. Now, let's see here. What else do we had? We had the vid pack from the Karrion Kross. My gosh, I'm so glad Scarlett is with him. She really fills in the gaps with him. Next to her talking, seeing her there as a heater, when they say she's heat, she's heat. She's a woman you want to marry. I know most men would say she's a woman you want to just fuck and then get somebody else that's wholesome to marry. No, give me her to marry. I know that I may not be the best to be with, but I will do my best to be devoted to her. That's what I want. But the point is, she made it better. And then we got Drew later saying clearly he wanted Karrion Kross because he was so angry after getting choked out last week. Now, I don't know how far they're going to go with Karrion. I'm hoping that Drew's going to put Karrion over. To be honest, I don't even remember if Karrion and Drew have ever faced each other outside WWE. I don't know. They might have. I just never seen it. So this will be interesting for me. A first time for me seeing these two actually going in the ring and doing some work. Next, let's get this last match done. The second to last match done. Solo Sequoia versus Madcap Moss for the North American Championship. Good to see that. It's good to see that they're taking one of the titles, throwing it on SmackDown to compensate when Roman's not there. Having a Bloodline member who is not a tag champion to actually show what he can do is good. But like I said earlier, due to the fact that the way they're booking it, and I don't agree with this, he's not a full-blown badass on the main roster. He has to be helped, no matter what, with Sami or his brothers. And on NXT, he's going to be allowed to be a badass. I just don't agree with. I truly believe he should be allowed to stick with the badass bit and not need help. Very rarely he should ever get help. But he's been getting it from Sami, which is going with the story with him dealing with Jay. That's one of the reasons why it's being done. In the end, he won, and we know he's going to win. But I really want to see Sequoia to really be his badass without being backed up by Sami or his brothers or even Roman for that matter. Fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership going into Extreme Rules. We got the New Day, we got the Brawling Brawlers, we got Imperium, and we got Hit Row. I actually thought they were going to be the Street Profits, but it's good to see it's Hit Row. The Street Profits, I'm sorry. Street Profits, I know they're on the other show. Yes, they are on the other show. But seeing that they're doing something with Hit Row, and it wasn't Alpha Academy, it wasn't somebody else like the Viking Raiders, it was Hit Row, and not a possibly trying to come over to the other show, Street Profits, or the others I just mentioned. It's good that spotlighting them. It's good to see it. Good match, but in the end, the Brawling Bruisers, not Brawling Brawlers. I'm dyslexic. I'm saying it now. I am dyslexic. So I'm going to say words backwards. The Brawling Bruisers. Seeing it, good. That kind of goes along with the story of Imperium, trying to get those damn titles. They're going after the Usos, which we have never seen, which will be good. Now, of course, Imperium going after the Usos would have been fine too. But seeing that it is Sheamus's group is a good thing to see. That's just me. Now, it wasn't a bad show, as I said, but it did feel long-winded, and a couple of things that was a bit confusing. And a lot of stuff like that. That's just me. Rampage. Okay. A match that I don't understand why it went off, but it was a good match. And that was Darby versus Matt Hardy. Good match. But then you see, after the match was over and Darby won, and they fist bumped. They weren't against one another. You saw Brody King come out with a... Once you see those two come out, and once you see Brody say, I want a match. This is not over. I want Sting to come out. I want Darby to come out. And pretty much with Julia helping him choke out a Matt Hardy after he said, I want a no DQ match at the current match, not current match, but current show of Grand Slam. I want it. That means either it's going to be a Buddy Matthews. I don't know if it's going to be a Malachi Black. Not Malachi Black. Not Malachi. I think the reason I'm botching here is due to the fact that Malachi, and it is Malachi Black, he's not there at the moment. At least that's what the reports are, due to the fact of there being personal issues next to his booking. There's not many people talking about. It's not just he's not being creatively satisfied. It's also some type of personal issue with his family. Something might be going on that's an issue. That's why he's probably not there. And that's the reason why Buddy Matthews will probably take that spot. So Malachi Black, as far as I know, is not there right now. He's not working with AEW. He's taking a little time off because of personal issues, along with there being some possible creative problems with his character. So hopefully it'll work. Now, Jade Cargill. Got to get this done. Jade Cargill is going to have a match against Diamante. She wants one. So at Grand Slam, she's going to get one. No, not what? Yeah, Grand Slam. I think it's going to be Grand Slam. So here's the thing for me, guys. At this point, Jade Cargill must drop that title. I'm sorry. I'm glad she's been holding it for 9 months. And it did help her. But at this point, it can't help her anymore. She's gone through the damn roster. Unless she's going to get Camille of NWA come in and do something like basically beat her ass and not be for the title so somebody can be seen to beat her, she needs to drop that shit now. She needs to drop it to somebody. I don't think it's going to be Diamante. It's got to be somebody. I wish it was Selena Deeps. I'm telling you right now, I wish Selena Deeps would basically take that damn title from her. Because she should. She needs to drop that title and move on to the main title because we need it. She needs to be progressed. She's stagnant at this point. I'm just saying. Next, we get Penelope. Look, I like Penelope. She's a beautiful woman. She can talk to a certain extent. And she can work a bit. But we've seen her so much in the last couple of years. I want to see other women. Yes, she came back from injury and they are trying to push her. I'm glad to see they're doing it. I want to see more people. I want to see more than just Willow Nightingale. I want to see Kiera Hogan work. When the hell is she going to work on Rampage? When the hell is she going to work more on Dynamite? They're not showing her. Gray, I can't remember her name. Laura Gray. I want to see more of her. I want to see her get over. She's not getting over. She's just background, like I said in one of my previous videos, where pretty much Kiera Hogan is doing nothing. Nothing. She's just in the background. They need more women to be doing something. We need to see Leia Hirsch again. We need to see Abaddon again. Yes, I know she's not good, but more women on the damn show that are being booked to be doing something. I'm not saying this feud should be great. I'm just saying that we need something. Just throwing these women out there with just simple matches is not freaking enough. In the end, Willow lost. I'm not surprised. They're pushing Penelope because she's well known, well established, and Tony likes her. And I'm not blaming Tony because he knows she can be trusted, but he needs to start doing something with these booking with these women because it's bullshit. Finally, if I'm forgetting anything, oh yeah, Chris Jericho wants to go after the ROH title. I was wondering if he was ever going to do it. I didn't think he would, particularly if they were going to do it at a show for ROH, but now they're doing it at a Grand Slam. So Claudio is willing to put up that damn title to Chris Jericho. Okay? What do you know? Chris will try and get the damn title. Doesn't mean he'll get it, but he will. I'm just saying. I think I even said that he may even try to go for the title. He may do cameos in ROH if they ever get it started, but I don't think he'll ever work there. I don't think he'll ever work on that brand. Ever. Or that promotion. Because there ain't a damn promotion. no matter what anybody says, there ain't no promotion because ain't no show. I don't care what anybody says. There's no promotion. The titles are borked. They're nothing. But that's just me. Finally. Oh no, I still got 2 matches, not 1. This match didn't even need to happen. You get Danhausen versus Ethan Page with Halfway by his side. What did we get with Ethan Page destroying a Danhausen? I don't know. It's going to depend how they're going to book him. He was decimated. The question's going to be now, what does this mean for Ethan Page? Are they really pushing him? Or is this just about everyone in the firm getting a rub before something big happens with MJF? I'm just saying. Finally, the ROH TV title match of Josh Woods versus Samoa Joe, who looked, and I love me Joe. Guys, I've loved Samoa Joe. I want to tell you something. The first time I ever seen Samoa Joe, was not, I want to make this clear. The first time I saw him, and it wasn't in a wrestling ring. It wasn't at Genesis 2005, because I got the DVD for Genesis 2005. I got it in 2007, 2 years afterward, when I was going to physical therapy before I found out how bad my hip was. I did a biopsy in my hip, and I had to do physical therapy after I had the biopsy to get the muscles back into shape, which didn't matter because eventually I ended up out of work anyway. But the point was, the place nearby where I got my physical therapy was selling DVDs. And that's where I got that. And that's when I started knowing about TNA. But before that, way before that, I saw Samoa Joe. You want to know where I saw him? Monster Garage. If you don't know what that is, Jesse James, who used to build monstrosities and tried to make them work within 7 days. I saw him, and I saw CM Punk on Monster Garage because they were making a portable ring for a Bill Goldberg at the time. Even though he wasn't working with WWE or anyone, he was still out. I think he might have just finished working with WWE when he did the Monster Garage episode. I think that was just after he stopped working and went with Brock. That was just afterward. He hadn't been working for at least a couple of years when that episode came out. So that was the first time I saw Samoa Joe, with CM Punk for that matter. Yeah, I think you can look it up on YouTube. You might be able to find it. What was the name of it? Monster Garage, the wrestling ring, the portable wrestling ring. Try and look it up. Now, comparing that Joe back in 2006 or 5, at least, to the Samoa Joe here, you can tell that he has not been in the ring for a bit. He looked tanked and he looked a little ring rusty. Now, I'm not saying he was badly ring rusted, and I'm not saying he was badly tanked, but since he was doing voiceover somewhere else for a show, he had not been practicing. He's not been in the ring for a couple of months. So you could tell he seemed a little out of ring shape. So Josh Woods had to kind of compensate for that. But you could tell Joe was struggling. Doesn't mean he did a terribly bad match, but you could tell he needs to get in the ring freaking shape. He needs to get on the damn shows and work. Not saying he hasn't done it on what Elevation or Dark. He needs to be on the main show. He got to look good, and he didn't look that well. In the end, he did retain, which I wasn't surprised. Then you see Nice pretty much nail him, and then we get Willow coming out trying to help out and basically trying to nail a smart mark, and now we're getting a match over at Grand Slam. It was an okay show, like I said. Okay, setting up for Grand Slam. Both shows were semi-alright to alright. Not saying they were perfect and not saying they were great, but they were at least something. Now, would I recommend you look at either one of them? Maybe you could watch part of SmackDown, the very opening, and the closing, because you want to look at Sami, because Sami's the MVP. And when it comes to Rampage, you can look at the first match with, Darby and Matt were really good. They weren't that bad. And the last match was not great. Honestly, wasn't that great. I'm not going to lie to you. The only match you could look on there that was really that good was Matt and Darby Allin. I'm just saying. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.